Welcome back to the Hurley Pro Trestles. We kicked off today with the Swatch Women's Pro. We've discovered our quarterfinalists. Now it's time to do the same on the men's side with Michel Bourez taking on Brett Simpson in what should be a fantastic heat. Teammates on the Hurley program up against each other for a place in quarterfinal number 1. The winner of this heat taking on Geordie Smith, Ronnie Blakey with Ross Williams. And Ross, a quick exchange. Brett Simpson picking off a very nice wave in the beginning stages here.
Yeah, there's been some amazing left-handers today that's kind of providing a little more feedback, that steeper wall that you can go to town and tag, which is exactly what Brett's doing right here. That is multiple maneuvers. You can see feeling it right there, a little gesture with the hands. Nice way to finish with that tail blow for Brett. And the exact opposite start for for Michel. Getting unstuck there, skipping out on top of the water. So that's going to be the psychological demons right there for him, and Brett's feeling positive. Well, I mean, it's been no secret. You know, surfing's half the battle out here on tour. You have to match it with really steely nerves.
Well, now it's all about performance. Once you get on that wave, you got to really lay down some deep tracks. Nice roundhouse cutback from Brett there, but just didn't have the speed to launch something huge on the closeout.
Where, you know, tons of talent, enough talent to, you know, potentially even win a world title or be a top 5 surfer. But sometimes he buckles a little bit under pressure or makes a silly decision. So right now, you know, as a wild card, he's freed up, and, you know, he's getting himself one of the best results he's ever had on a championship tour event.
But Courtney's a difficult one. She's so on her, she's in the world title race, and yeah, it was going to be a tough heat, but did my best.
You kicked out of a wave early to get back to priority. That seemed to be the reason why you got the better wave of the heat.
Yeah, when I paddled into that little one, I know I only needed a 5, and I saw Courtney get that bigger wave. I was actually surprised that she went that one. I thought that was a great decision on her behalf. But when I paddled into that little one, I saw Courtney in my peripheral vision, like way down the beach, and I thought, okay, let's see if you can squeeze in 3 solid turns, because then you'll get a 6 or something. Looking
forward to seeing it again later today. But during that interview, this guy, Brett Simpson, started to really light things up. He looks like he can do just about anything he wants out there at the moment.
I thought this is great surfing. You know, the right-handers, you know, it's different types of moves. On your backhand, you're kind of getting that vertical whip going. On the forehand, you get to mix it up, though, which is great. Nice flow right there. That was a tricky section to get around, and he did a great job being agile and floating it again right there, showing that pop that you need. I thought that was an awesome little tail slide right there, kicking the tail free, showing a lot of control, Ronnie. Just a 5.57 though. I thought that would go quite a bit higher. But you know, he's gonna take it. There's that power move right there. So again, he had a good mix of moves on this wave. He went from tail slides to using his rail. You know, Brett Simpson looks dangerous right now, so he's gonna have to find it.
And we got a lot of surfers still tracking well in this event that are sitting just behind Michel, so he's got to watch out. He needs to get through this heat. He wants to maintain that place. Having a crack at this one. So he has committed. Only counting on a 0.63. Here he goes, ripping through that trademark, wrapping cutback to get started and then exploding through the wall. Climbing up on top of this wave once again. Michel always puts so much into his surfing. And he is flowing through the inside now. This wave has reeled off quite nicely. He drifts the tail. A solid finish for Bourez. His best wave to date, as Brett Simpson chases him down the line here, and he is all over the place, keeping that tail above the lip and being very aggressive. He knows that holding back and surfing safe isn't the way to get into the quarters. This is where we start to see those form surfers emerging through the earlier rounds.
Concentrate on power surfing and really throwing his weight around. But you can see this wave running in front of him. There's that hack. So again, power surfing on display. Now he got caught behind just a little bit, and he responded nicely. A couple of punches up and over the lip and got through it. So he did a pretty good job of keeping that flow up despite getting stuck behind the wave just for a moment. And as this wave finishes up on the inside bowl there, he actually shows that the judges, hey, I can mix it up and let my tail free as well. So right here, this is definitely the best turn of this wave for Michel. Watch that inside rail. He's going to cut through the water. You can see his face. This is such a strong surfer. He has a great ability to use his legs as well as his upper body. He's actually really active with his upper body. He kind of torques through those turns with that chest just as much as his legs. And behind him, Brett, pretty lucky that this wave gifted to him. It was not just a one-wave set, 2 perfect waves in his set. Brett, what he likes to lean on with his surfing, I think that he has maybe over Michel as his above the lip surfing, and he did it twice on that wave. That's a very committed move. Those sections right there, he could have played it safe, Ronnie, and went for just a snap or an off the lip.
Just gotta go out there and keep rebooting it if you lose, and yeah, this definitely wasn't my event and a bit frustrating, but yeah, just gotta get ready for Portugal now and the rest of the year.
And what's the biggest lesson you take out of this event?
It's very rare that she falls, so it takes a while to decompress when you lose at these events. You're just kind of for Kelly, you wouldn't be surprised to see him wanting to compete when he's 60 years old. This is an 8-point ride for Brett Simpson, and no doubt the judges really appreciating that commitment. Again, these sections, he could have played it safe and just arrived at that section and go, wow, look at this wave, and gone for a standard off the lip. But Brett busting that surfboard out of the top of the wave and actually getting a little airborne. So going for a big tail release and getting the nod over Michel.
Back out to the lineup now. Live action for you. Brett Simpson, without priority, picks this one off. He has some wall to work with, and he has been just hurling that tail up over the lip on every ride he gets. He really is having a crack at just about any move he can go for and pulling it off with ease.
When you're nervous, you fall. But Brett has been confident. He's been freed up, and he's been planting all these maneuvers. That is right there something that he could do quite often free surfing, but you don't see that very often historically with a jersey on. Brett is sticking everything right now, so he is riding high.
Here it is again for you from that water angle. Just great control, just heading in that backward motion. Put the pressure on one of the full-time campaigners on the championship tour.
Well, Brett has, we talked about his confidence. It really rises when he gets busy right away. As soon as he sort of, finds that first score, his nerves settle. And that's exactly what that wave right there did for him. Some clean backside surfing for Brett. That was a 7, and then from there, he didn't look back. Michel Bourez, that's his bread and butter right there. That hack, that forehand snap power, that's what Michel really has respect for. 7.83. So unfortunately, bad timing for Michel. Right out the back behind this wave was an even better wall for Brett. So it always kind of halts your campaign during a heat if there's someone behind you sort of diluting your effort. That's exactly what happened for Michel. This is the wave right behind it. It was a 2-wave set. Both waves had that nice wall on it, and Brett stuck to his guns. He didn't want to match Michel on the rail, even though he can. Brett's an amazing power surfer as well. But I like that he's staying aggressive, and we talked about it, in this heat already, Ronnie. It's amazing that he is just sticking everything right now. So Brett Simpson riding high on confidence.
Just over 3 minutes to go now as we cast our eyes back to the takeoff zone with a wave approaching here. Michel Bourez having to think about it, but knows too well what this wave is going to do down the line. He's a good scrapper in tricky conditions, Michel Bourez. That's where he's had his best results, which is a little bizarre, seeing as though he comes from a place that is home to some of the most perfect waves on earth. He's going to go this first wave. He lets Brett Simpson take it. 10 seconds remaining, and he's going to have to get out to this next line of swell and scramble to even get up before the hooter sounds as Simper just tears this left apart. Beautiful reverse, very controlled spin, and just bizarre that Michel Bourez didn't take that ride.
Yeah, he could see he paddled himself right in no man's land, but unfortunately it took him out of position for that last left. That's too bad because that score potential was there for Michel. Brett will take it, Ronnie.
The dream run continues for the wildcard Brett Simpson.